So in part two, I forgot to put a thing over this, and it's just inevitable that that there's no she's on the internet, and either my thread is not going to be seen by many people at all, and this will amount to nothing, or it's going to be seen by a lot of people, and it's like inevitable that they'll know who I'm talking about. But this is an incredibly courageous one right here. Okay, and King John Douglas the First of the UK followed me. Okay, after I left a comment. Okay, he's the real McCoy. He sees that I'm the real McCoy, and um, the good men are all over the place. Out there. We may not be the majority. Okay, if I can be so whatever to include myself in that category. Okay, but we may not be the majority, or maybe we are. Okay, I would have to do an analysis. It seems to me like we're without a doubt a dying breed. There's a man named George Leonard who writes real good books. And I haven't read the book this book that he wrote, but he wrote a book called The Decline of the American Male. Okay, but Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire interviewed this one. Okay, and he was ethical towards her. He acknowledged the incredible thing that she had done in terms of surviving the centers, getting out of it, living according to her values and all this stuff. Charlie Kirk had his arms wide open for her. Okay, at I am on the side of the good men, and this King John Douglas the First of the UK, he is a brethren of mine. Okay, we may I don't know his full platform. There may be something we disagree on. Almost certainly is. Okay, in terms of views on different things. Oh, okay, but he's coming from the right place, and it was really it does really good to see him out there uh, defending her. And this is disgusting. I mean, what the hell? I mean, God, what a horrible human being this guy is. I mean, Jesus, God Almighty. Okay, but to go back here, I'm gonna go back to my framework here. Here, forward slash. That part of this here is again there's a mountain of bullshit in every teaspoon of their words. And these people, it's like that they're again, and a part of the picture is too, is again, as I've known for a long time, that they go and they spend like $1 zillion. They got these engineered machines being cooked up. It's just like an incredibly threatening feeling thing to me. And I know for a fact, I know they have no good intentions whatsoever. Okay. And it's like a brutal workload on me. And so, this is part of the picture here that I'm physically depleted, exhausted, damn near dead. My well-being is restored, okay, because it's like I can take it easy. I can do just fine being physically depleted and exhausted, when they're off the scene. But once they're on the scene at all again, it's like I'm absolutely, it's going to kill me. And part of this right here is you don't understand this, but this thing that they have you to like when you've got a concern, they'll have you format the text on your post a certain way and stuff like this. They do the same thing with people like when they have supporters who turn against me, or they've got people who are not supporters that they pull into their scams. They will have them apply the same type of convention, usually in a little bit more of a dramatic way. Okay, so my mind associates that's part of why I can go the wrong direction on that. That my mind associates that with people being turned against me and stuff like this. And then the same thing where they change change the display of my thread. That this can be distressing to me, incredibly distressing to me. Depending. That again, every time I see my thread, I have a life and death response to it. Like every time I log in, it's like, is my thread there or not? And and that's part of what comes into play here. And you know, and so that's, I don't know what else to say there, and man, I'm really, really, really okay. And here, I want to thank you. Okay, you've done so much for me. You give me time to speak. You've stuck up for me. You've stuck up for my dignity. Okay, that all of these require effort. All of these, you require independence of thought. All of these require concern. Okay, require work on your part, work and hardship. You know, attention. Okay, all of this means a lot to me. Okay, you respected my wishes, which has not happened. For months, I've been begging people to get these people off the scene, and you know, and I'm not lambasting my previous supporters, my second group of private supporters. My first, no, I'm not chastising them for what they did not do. Okay, that's not the point at all. Okay, these people have been ruthlessly manipulating people. It's what's going on there. Okay, that they had these people. I mean, people are not prepared for this kind of onslaught of bullshit and attacks. Okay, I'm not lambasting my previous any of my second or first group of primary supporters for what they didn't do. I am showing you appreciation for what you did do and what no one else has done, and what has an incredible benefit on me. Okay, and again, I've got to emphasize, you know, when I say my well-being, that doesn't mean that I'm back to full force. I am incredibly depleted from a months-long onslaught on my support system that is part of a years-long terror attack of terror, torture, and all this stuff directed at me. Okay, but still, yeah, even with that said, you know, that doesn't discount at all that yeah, I was trying to be clear as to what I mean as an incredible benefit to me, and you know, I was doing incredibly good once I figure out there's no new, they haven't run a new attack and all this stuff. Is you're just relaying your concerns through them. Okay, that had an incredibly you know, that put me in a much better condition there. And this right here, I'm noticing this now. This is a pattern I've noticed here, something I figured out about you. That you know, when I'm suffering and stuff like this, you put your concerns for yourself to the side. It's like, and you may not even notice this because it's so natural for you that I'm not saying that you're like a total martyr or that you don't, or that you just forget your concerns, but it's like you don't have any. I get a sense like you have no defensiveness, like you're overwhelmed with concern about me, and to be overwhelmed with concern about me, you have to discount your concern for yourself to some extent. And again, it may be something that's invisible to you, but other people are worried about, did I do something wrong? Is there something, you know, there's something about their personal confidence, their personal, you know, something that they will feel a need to defend themselves or assert themselves or to assert the validity of their concerns or something that they do not like mentally totally step out of the way and say, you know, this person is important, his suffering is important, this doesn't mean anything about me, or something like this, that you put concern for yourself aside, and you also have a kind of resilience about you that you I don't know how to say it, but you have a similar thing to me, where it's like the rest of the world doesn't, how do I say this, like if I don't know how to say it, okay, but it's like you don't feel under threat. That's part of what comes on when people cannot put their concerns themselves to the side. It's like they feel under threat in some way by the situation, by me, by what I'm saying, by something. Okay, and this is the general thing. Will be part of their ongoing thing. Okay, and I'm not lambasting anybody else. Okay, it's a very real trait, and I do appreciate that. Okay, I mean, it's amazing. Okay, because you have saved my life, and you have restored my well-being. Okay, that you know that I am getting a break from this onslaught of their bullshit. Okay, it's absolutely it's killing me. Okay, and you are again. They run these engineered deceits. They pile a mountain of bullshit into every teaspoon of their words, and you know, you have an incredible resilience against their bullshit. And that's part of the reason. Part of the reason too is it feels so threatening. Or it feels threatening on numerous levels when they're running their bullshit. Okay, but it's because that they had such an incredible. Okay, they pulled such incredible feats, and I've been able to tell over time too the way that they're dumping more and more money into their experts, into their engineered deceits. That it's like they're more and more and more high tech. Okay, but you have an incredible imperviousness to an incredible resilience. Okay, and so this is a quality that you have. And again, what I very, very much prefer is that they're just off the scene totally. And I'll be talking about how we can set up alternate methods. And of course, if this method works for you, we'll make it work. That's part of my next point here. Is, when I get, again, I draw the wrong conclusion, or I jump to the gun and think there's been another attack on my support system, and they run some kind of engineered deceit or some kind of something where they try to take stuff out of context or whatever they do. And what my mind went to is like, maybe this is what they've done. Because I posted this post recently about where I talk about, about how it's baked into nature that I'm going to win, even though I don't think about winning. And they're not trying to spin that. I've said this one time. I've spoken in terms of winning one time on my online presence. Since I've been on Twitter since 2021, talking about this, and they're not trying to spin this some way. I'm just thinking fast. I mean, this is what they've done. So that's why I posted a video to explain that. But they're not pulling this bullshit. It's not gonna work. Okay, I see that. Okay, but I never ever want to it's your concerns always matter. Okay, and we'll do whatever we have to do in order to allow your concerns to be addressed. Okay, I want to make sure we have a big distinction between their bullshit being run, them being able to run bullshit, and your concerns being addressed. And I will talk to you about alternative methods to address your concerns that I have in mind. But the bottom line is, if this is what's most convenient for you, after I give you some alternative methods, and I want to explain to you, we got some problematic stuff with them, but getting methods through ChatGPT for one major thing is that as I showed you that they were as of the other day, they were trying to bullshit me into thinking that you had more concerns when you didn't, and I'll explain more of that later, okay? But I can set up a thing where we can do it just like we're doing it, where you run your concerns to them. If that's what's most convenient for you, I'll give you a protocol that we can follow that won't impose any hardship on you whatsoever, and that will allow me to be much, much, much more comfortable. But I will be telling you about alternative methods that do not involve them at all, which will be that much more of a boost to my well-being. Okay, but you are without a doubt, you are allowed to take up weight in this situation, absolutely for sure. To take up space, to take up your concerns always matter. Whatever we have to do to allow your concerns to be addressed, that is what we will do. Okay. I'll address your specific concerns. I've already addressed some of your specific concerns in topic one, and then I'll go. I've got here. I've got this right here. The ones that I haven't addressed, like item D. I will address those in the next video. I'm incredibly good for your time. I'm incredibly good for my supporters. Okay, my supporters, my second group of primary supporters, my first group of primary supporters. Okay, I hope as many of you are online, if you're back online, that you're a blessing in my life. Okay, you've saved my life, just like my Rose Street supporter has. I'm here breathing because of you. And, we've got people out there. We got to support one another. Okay, that these people are incredibly deceitful. As I've said, okay, you will see as we go along. I've already showed you evidence. These people are running extraordinarily sophisticated deceits. They are incredible in what they are doing. Okay, this is it would be really good for people to have some solidarity with one another. Okay, to to all be all be to to support one another and stuff like this, if that's at all possible, okay, which it is possible, okay, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of you, okay, and so I'll leave it at that. But I'm going to cut this video off, and then the video in part number 4, I want to get into topic 4 of my most recent supporters' specific concerns.